think we could still use more intentional inclusion of fathers in the conversation. I know fathers often, still get overlooked. Although it's gotten better over the years. I remember when when I initially started this work like 2000 like six, around that time. I worked in East Harlem. I was working for the fatherhood program at that time, and I noticed that there were fewer agencies that were like father friendly. And I use those words because it just wasn't on the front of mind, I guess. Again, it wasn't intentional. Um, so, the way even institutions would uh, communicate in a way to fathers was like it didn't feel right, you know. And I can speak about the child support system or ACS or those type of places, who I think over the years have really become more understanding of fathers. Um, it's I think that's huge. And I was at a conference a couple weeks ago, and we were all speaking about again, these are agencies in the city that were saying we need to be a father friendly, the father the friendliest, father friendly city, the best father friendly city in the country. We want to be the best. So that's saying a lot, and that's we've come a long way in regard to our support of fathers. Um, I think I think having built-in supports on the campus is really huge. Less isolated initiatives. Again, I think I'm actually been working with Father Academy, but I'm also part of Black Male Initiative. And those are kind of seamless connections there, because many of the fathers work with the Black and Hispanic men, and the uh, the connection to resources and opportunities, is shared within that space, and um, there's a lot of like collaboration that can be had, amongst some of these different programs. For instance, some of our guys are getting their GED, and now they want to get into electrical plumbing and HVAC programs, or you know uh, computer-based training opportunities and things like that. So um, some of these initiatives can be connected, and we can provide more opportunities for our student. Maybe a greater investment in just some of the basic needs. Um, you know, Again, our students are, housing is a big issue, housing insecurity. Sometimes I wish we had dorm rooms, at least for a short period of time for the students in our program, because that is a challenge with housing. Um, but it's not just about access. It's about equity, and just the long-term impact of the families. At the end of the day, I think I think for the future of our program, I hope there'll come a day when we could serve the whole family. That's kind of the vision I have, is serve fathers, mothers, children, but to just be family focused, and this is just not perhaps this doesn't just have to be a just an initiative, but something that we do, family centers and CUNY campuses, and maybe that'll be something that's we could look at. You come in and come to the family center. You need GD, you need diapers, you need just places where student parents can come and get support. That they need. Student parents are busy. I know I know parents that are working and they're married. They're, their father or mother to like five kids, or and taking care of their mother. So just having access, more access, and more supports